Welcome to the OVW Podcast, the unofficial podcast of Ohio Valley Wrestling. My name is Jack Minogues. I'm joined today, as always, by my colleague, Brian Hines.
Hey, folks. Good to be here again.
It's a Thursday in the feed. You know what that means. We have an OVW, how should we describe you, actually, Zachery D Pittman? An OVW journalist, an OVW photographer? How would you describe yourself?
First off, it's Zachery D Pittman III.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sorry.
And, I am a freelance photographer for OVW.
Yes.
I take pictures. I do promo pictures. I do action shots.
Sure.
Whatever they need at OVW, I'll do it. You know.
So I ask this question to everybody. It's a great place to start. You have this passion for journalism, this passion for photography. What led you to OVW?
I seen that's the place to be right now. I mean,
Sure.
That's the place that needs a photographer.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
They need more photographers there, and I'm just glad I was there at the right time.
Well, and a lot of people on the wrestling side say the same thing. OVW is the place to be. OVW is the place I need to be at. OVW is the place to go. For you as a photographer, someone that's focused towards wrestling photography at the moment, at least, it seems like it's an obvious fit, right? Someone needs to document what's happening at OVW during this historic time.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, and it got its perks. Like this week, Al Snow, he gave me a job. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be an investigative journalist.
Oh, cool.
He wants me to take a look at Omar and Luscious. So hopefully they don't listen to the show.
Right.
I don't think they do. I think they're...
Yeah, they probably don't.
They probably don't. They might. We have a weird relationship with Luscious and Omar. Let's move on.
Yeah.
So whenever, Al, he can be kind of an intimidating guy, and you're not from the wrestling world, right? You get thrown into this job, right? This beat of OVW. What is it like to work with Al? What is it like to have Al acknowledge you're the journalist of OVW right now?
Well, Al's a very intimidating man.
Yes, we know from experience.
Very, very large. That graspy voice is scary.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to upset him. I don't want to disappoint him. I'm scared of Al, so
Sure.
I'm just trying to do the best I can.
You know what helps with nerves a little bit is a drink. We have poured you a drink right here. My colleague has one as well. I have one. We always like to have guests, no matter whether they're wrestlers or freelance journalists or investigatory journalists, and your example here. We always like to offer people a toast here, and we were wondering if you would like to partake with us.
What kind of drink is this?
This is straight bourbon whiskey finished in Armiac barrels from Rare Character Whiskey. Thank you, Chad and Pablo.
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay.
So if you can grab it. It's okay.
There's no pressure.
Yeah,
Okay.
no pressure.
If you feel it's so inclined to join us, you are more than welcome to.
Absolutely, guys.
All right. Well, cheers.
Nostrovia. Oh gosh, are you okay?
Oh my gosh, are you all right?
Malachi? Can you go get a towel or something and a glass of water, please?
What is that?
And Malachi, whenever you get that glass of water, can you please give it to our guest here?
It's straight bourbon whiskey, and apparently it is.
It's finished in Armiac.
Yeah, it is finished in Armagnac.
I didn't mean to disrespect you guys. It's
No, we just want to,
No,
as a
we
guest,
just wanna-
we
we just
want
wanna
to make
make
sure
sure
you're
that you're
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Malachi. Thank you, PS.
Thank you so much, sir. Oh, that just burned, guys.
It has a tendency to do that a little bit.
So I'm going to assume,
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm good, guys. Thank you, guys.
I don't want, forgive me if maybe I'm stepping on your feet here a little bit, but I'm going to assume Zachery D Pittman III maybe not much of a partier here.
No, I'm a bit of a social outcast. I stick to myself.
Sure.
I like to be behind the camera. This is the first time I'm really in front of a camera. It's kind of different, It's strange to me, and I don't really partake in the party scene. People give me anxiety.
And again, I don't mean to be disparaging here. Was that the first drink of alcohol you've ever had in your life?
Oh, that was alcohol.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alcohol.
That's
Yes.
what bourbon is. Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
bourbon. We're in
yes,
Kentucky.
I've-
It's kind of a big deal here.
I have never drinking alcohol in my life. Yeah, that was my first drink.
Oh, wow.
You're an.
I guess we should have maybe given you a heads up.
Is that gonna make me drunk?
Well, you spit most of it out. So
Yeah,
no.
so probably not.
Okay, you guys sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope I hesitate to tell you 100% yes, but I have a feeling that you're going to be okay, Mr. Zachery D Pittman III.
Yeah, I think that you probably got maybe 10% of that drink down, so you'll probably be fine.
So I'll be all right.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
so. I think so.
We can get you something to eat afterwards just to be sure.
All right.
Hedge
awesome.
our bets.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
Yeah, it's a
No,
great
no
piece of
problem.
place right
Sorry
around the
too.
corner.
I really didn't mean to disrespect.
No disrespect.
Trust
at
us.
all.
We've been much.
We're sorry that you. I mean, it was just not your thing.
We've been much more straightforwardly disrespected on this very program before. So trust us, that was not disrespect at all.
No, not at all. It's just a natural reaction to something that you weren't expecting.
What is, speaking of not expecting things, no, I'll come back to that. What got you into photography, Zachary?
Well, believe it or not, my mother, she had me very young, and she was a big fan
Same
of
here.
wrestling, big fan. So like naturally, I grew up watching the TV, you know, watching the WWF and
sure.
stuff, right
So
back in
did
the
I.
day, and back in the day, all the photographers would be around the ring, and when I saw that, I just knew that like photography for wrestling was my calling. I knew that's what I was gonna do with my life, and I seen all the flashes, and this is what I wanted. I wanted to take pictures for professional wrestling.
And it never occurred to you to maybe wrestle instead of being a photographer?
I'm way too frail for that.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
you know, I can't be getting thrown around, you know.
No.
I don't want to get hurt.
Sure.
What else do you like to take pictures of besides wrestling? Like if you were, it's a hobby as well. I mean, it's something that interests you. If you were not covering OVW, what sorts of things do you like to take pictures of? For example, I like to take pictures of people taking pictures. So if you're here taking a picture of something, I would like to take a picture of that because it's been my hobby going back to like first grade.
That's amazing. That's art. That's art.
Do you know, can you explain to us, like, do you know the rule of thirds? Do you know what that is?
No.
As a photographer?
I'm
I know that listen, you do know what it is. Because all of these photographs that I've seen that you've taken at your time at OVW, it's been a short time. And it's ironic because there's this other guy that showed up around the same time that you showed up. But I've seen your pictures. When you're taking a picture, what are you trying to gain? What are you trying to tell the viewer? Right?
That's a good question because every picture tells is 1,000 words.
I'm just I'm trying to show the true beauty and art of professional wrestling.
Sure.
And that's what I look for.
As Zachery D Pittman,
The third.
I'm sorry. As Zachery D Pittman III, I didn't want to disrespect you in all honesty. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'm so sorry.
we have to get this straight. It's Zachery D. Pittman III.
Yeah, yes, the third.
Yes.
As Zachery D Pittman III, you want to tell a story, right? You want to entertain the people, right? So you get brought into professional wrestling. What is it about professional wrestling photography, that makes you the best person for the job at OVW?
You could say I'm always at the right place at the right time.
It's interesting that you mentioned that because the guy that I just alluded to, there's this cat running around, Super Z. Everyone loves him. Everyone's in love with him. Kids, adults, grandmas, grandpas,
Podcast hosts.
Everyone's in love with the Super Z guy. But for some reason, as a photographer, and this is your job, I understand.
Yeah.
You manage to always take the best shots of Super Z. You always manage to be in the same place that Super Z is at. How do you have that? As a journalist, is that natural to you?
Well,
The whiskey's getting to you a little bit?
yeah, sorry, my throat.
We might need a refill on the water, Malachi. P.S. Water.
Please, Malachi.
What was your question again, sir? I'm sorry.
As a reporter, is it happenstance? Is it circumstance, or is it complete coincidence that you always manage to be in the same place that this new character Super Z is at? This new character that has taken over the minds and imaginations of OVW, regardless of age, regardless of gender, regardless of any of those other qualifiers.
Thank you.
Super Z has become very, very, very well loved character in a very short amount of time, and it seems like you are always in the right place to tell his story.
Well,
how is that journalistic?
If you go back to the OVW YouTube channel, you can watch the episode of Overdrive Wrestling where Brian Kennison interviewed me.
Mm-hmm.
And he asked me all sorts of questions about Super Z too. I don't know why everybody keeps asking me questions about him, but
as a
I
journalist,
get a lot. But like I told Brian Kennison, me and Super Z, we grew up together.
Okay.
And
Okay. Yeah.
you know, I used to get picked on a lot in school, and you know, he was my friend that stuck up for me. He was there for me. He always showed me that no matter what, if you put your mind to it, you can always do it. He taught me that.
Sure.
And it was just valuable lessons like that, and he's helped me out so much that, you know, I'll be there for him if he needs me. And if he needs good pictures, I'm the guy that will get him them good pictures.
It's just to be honest with you, man, and I'm not trying to grill you. You are a really great guy, and we really appreciate you coming by. And it's very obvious you wear your heart on your sleeve. You're as earnest as the day is long. But it seems like Zachery D Pittman, the third, has a different relationship with all of the other wrestlers in the locker room than he does with Super Z. And I guess I'm just kind of curious. You get treated like dirt by the Bad Girls Club, right?
They still have not paid me.
You get relegated to
That's why they're the bad
ringside.
girls.
You get pushed out of the way by everybody. You get bullied by everybody that you run into. But somehow you have this relationship with Super Z, who seems to be, at this point, unstoppable and unbeatable.
He's pretty good.
How did you guys, I guess I'm just curious. Why did he choose you?
Well, I guess.
You said you were friends from school. That's fine. That's fine.
You guys go way back.
Yeah, and you know, Super Z always does what's right.
Mm-hmm.
He sticks up for the little guys.
Mm-hmm.
And me, you know, just being a photographer at OVW.
Being a little guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like he helps me out, you know?
Sure.
And like that creepy guy Damone. He
Mr. Salavino. Yes.
He was creeping on me, and like I don't know what that guy wants with me.
Sure.
I've never even shot photos for him.
He
I don't know
was,
him.
wasn't he?
He was smelling me, and he called me out to the. I'm not a wrestler.
Well, and I
I'm
think
a photographer. I don't wrestle, and if you're trying to challenge me, that's unfair. I can't stick up for myself.
Well, and
so Super Z, he steps in and he helps me.
it's a little ironic because I feel like Mr. Salavino is the type of guy that if you take a picture of him, much like a vampire in a mirror, he's not going to show up. You know, he is from this other world. He is from this other land.
To tell you the truth, I'm really just scared he'll break my camera.
That is a very nice Nikon.
He does
Very
seem
nice
like
Nikon.
he's very feral, very very much like
Unsafe work environments.
Yeah,
around him,
yeah.
You know? There was a guy that used to bite people. You know, that's a scary group of people. I don't.
Yeah, you're not fooling.
I wanna
Didn't he
stay away
run?
from
Did
them.
he ran with the guy that used to bite people? He ran with the Nephilim for a little bit, right?
Man, that's what I hear.
That was before you arrived.
Yeah, that was before your time.
But it was
a few months ago.
It was OVW. OVW has been in the topic of national conversation over the last year, most of the last year because of the Netflix series, stuff like that. So it's not like you were unaware. It's not like you didn't know what kind of environment you were walking into. Was there anything about the Netflix series that kind of made you say, Zachery D Pittman III, I need to be here?
It's an amazing place, OVW, and Netflix told an amazing story, and I just knew I wanted to be a part of it.
Absolutely, and now you are. And now you are actually one of the biggest parts of it, week in and week out, because you are telling that story to the viewers and listeners of OVW week in and week out through your photography.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's your favorite scenario? And, feel free to get as wild with this as possible. Let's hear something that maybe we've never heard before on podcast air. What's your favorite photograph that you've taken, and what's the story behind it?
There's this really good shot of Super Z coming off the top rope at the double cross.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And he was coming off
facing
the top
Orion,
rope.
right?
Yeah, he was facing that Orion guy. Yes.
Yeah, that was a good match.
He's a guy who wears a mask too, so it kind of works out.
Yeah. And
Super
Z.
Super Z.
Yeah. He looked at Orion.
He looked at Orion from the air, please?
Yeah. Orion's always telling people to look at him, and
Sure.
Super Z at the top of the ropes looked at him. And I got the picture, and you can see the reflection of Orion's face. Utter fear as Super Z crashes down justice on Orion. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful picture.
Obviously you have a great relationship with Super Z here. And sometimes I call Super Z the wrong thing too, so it's okay. You obviously have a very special relationship with Super Z. What are some of the other wrestlers in OVW that you love taking photographs of, that maybe you have a special relationship with, that you love looking forward to meeting?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first off, Cal Hero. Hero, what a great guy that.
Yeah.
He's such a great guy.
After last night, I don't think I'm ever going to be saying anything negative about Cal Hero on this podcast ever again. But yes, I've been a big Cal fan for several years, and he's an amazing wrestler. He's an amazing guy. He really, truly is. But my character on this thing kind of trashes Cal sometimes, and I think.
Oh my goodness!
I
Not
think
Cal Hero.
I think I got called out by Cal personally last night. So we'll Cal Hero's great. Cal Hero's great.
Yeah. Cal Hero's amazing. No nepotism.
No.
He's amazing.
No, never again. No nepotism ever again.
Yeah, Cal Hero, just terrific. That Luke Curtis. He was the former OVW champion.
Yeah.
Luke Curtis, solid fella.
Mm-hmm.
I've got some great shots of him too.
Yeah.
Gosh, Luke Curtis is great.
He is.
Who else is? Tony Gunn. Shotgun. Tony Gunn.
Yeah.
It gets me going every time I hear the music. I love it, and he had that beautiful baby girl.
He
and
sure
it's just,
did.
It's amazing. It's
Good
just
for him.
And those are just some of the people.
Sure.
They're good guys.
Yeah, absolutely. No,
OVW has a good squad. There's some questionable fellas back there, though. Let me tell you, there's some real mean people.
You're someone who's been bullied all across the backstage at this point.
I
Zachery D
have.
Pittman III.
I have Dalton McKenzie.
Yeah, which was kind of a shock to us. I learned this past week. This man actually used to work with Dalton McKenzie prior to Dalton McKenzie's professional wrestling career.
Oh, I feel bad for you. You
About
probably
10
got
years
shoved
ago.
into lockers, didn't you?
No, actually, we worked in different departments, and he was out on the road quite a bit, and I was busy making phone calls. So
lucky
I would
you.
I would see him some, but I can see where he can be a little rowdy sometimes as far as that goes.
He's a scary fella.
Well,
yeah,
Pretty big.
yeah,
And
he
you're
is.
such a little guy.
Yeah.
And that's not me. This is something
No, I
that you
totally
stated in this
understand.
conversation. This is something you stated in this conversation. And then a monster, a behemoth, a barn of a man like
Dalton McKenzie.
Dalton McKenzie. I almost call him Donovan Cecil. He's even bigger a barn of a man. A guy like Dalton McKenzie comes up and starts bullying you. But it seems like you have... I don't want to... I'm sorry for implying anything, but it seems like you have this guardian that comes around in the form of Super Z. And he kind of corrects the situation between you and Dalton very quickly. Have you run into Dalton since he ran into Super Z?
I have not. I have not had any problems with Dalton McKenzie. I haven't had any problems with Donovan or Damone, not Donovan.
Sure.
I had no problems with Damone.
See, it's an easy mistake to make, isn't it?
A lot of D's.
Whenever, well, let me ask you this. What do you think about Orion? We just talked about him a little bit, but I want to hear what you said. You said some nice things about him. What does Zachery D Pittman
the third
think about Orion?
I think he's confused. I think he's a man that doesn't know what he wants, so he lashes out in negative ways, and I feel like that can come off harmful to people. Like it can come off rude. And
do you think that Super Z is a person who knows what he wants?
Yeah. I feel like Super Z's a man that knows exactly what he wants.
Maximo Suave, what do you have to say about him?
I think he's another guy with he has a negative attitude.
Sure.
I feel like he's a guy that's been doing this a long time
Sure.
and just doesn't feel like he gets the rub he's supposed to, and he lashes out against people that like don't have nothing to do with it. And,
Sure.
And like for me, I'm lucky Super Z was there.
Do you think that Super Z ever feels like he's been doing this for a long time and he hasn't gotten the right rub? You know him better than anybody.
I think that Super Z just wants to do what's right for OVW.
And on the way out here, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Completely wonderful.
We're glad to have had
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. It's been a
Sorry about
blast.
the drink, by the way.
Absolutely okay.
Do you mind to plug your social medias for us?
Say that again.
Do you mind to plug your social medias for us?
My
Yeah,
social medias.
if we
Yeah,
were
yeah.
to want to see some of your photographs or just keep up with you personally, are you on Facebook or?
You guys, actually, I have to get out. My stomach's really bothering. Hold on one second. I think the whiskey. I'll be. Hold on. I gotta go, guys.
Oh gosh. Okay. Well, then. Okay. Thanks.
Well, that was an interview.
Oh man, I feel bad about that.
Yeah, we might have gotten him a little. This is not unsimilar to whenever we give PS whiskey that he's not supposed to have.
Yeah.
He got a little.
He is of age. But
So this has been the OVW Podcast, the unofficial podcast for Ohio Wrestling. Love you guys.
Thanks. We'll see you soon, I guess.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Super Z! And you can find me on social media, The Real Super Z!